Live is brought to you by TrueCar.
Access an exclusive audience of lower funnel car buyers through our network of over 500 affinity partners, including USAA, Sam's Club, and AAA. Close more sales in a cost-effective way. There's never been a better time to become a TrueCar certified dealer.
We've been doing crazy things, and then here we have 6 new salespeople, including 3 that started this very week out of the car business. We David Hurley from Stingray Chevrolet works here. We have Trinda Bridges. She sold cars.
Sorry. Technical difficulties. We're working on things. Thank you for the thumbs down.
I'm not even stressing it. All right, so hopefully you guys can hear us. Hopefully you can hear us. Give us a little sign here. What a monologue, man. You guys didn't know you were going to get a monologue like that. We were going to do a monologue in like in its mimes. So if you're still there, let us know you can hear us, and then we're going to try to move forward with the show. Are you guys able to hear us, yay or nay? All right, so we got some thumbs up. All right,
Take 3.
so here we go, man. So, hey, there's our monologue. I don't want to cut into our guest time. So here's what we're going to do, guys. We're going to give away some money today. I want you guys to help me, all right?
Money.
So let's do this.
Money.
If we lost anybody during the transition, we've got some great guests. It's all about them today. We have Carlos Aviles from Puerto Rico. He is the president of Aviles Auto, and I met him at Hustle and Grind. What an incredible guy. He's going to be on the show today, and we want to talk about, we're going to be talking about the car business. I want to know what's going on in the country, in the state, I should say. What is it, Lou? It's really a state, right? I mean, it's
we're
technically
a country. We're a country.
It's a country, right? But I mean, it's also part of the states. I
We're
mean,
a Commonwealth, yeah.
Commonwealth, okay, of Puerto Rico, and I'm interested to hear what Carlos has to say. He's an incredible dude, and also we have Pat O'Brien. He is the performance manager and trainer at Tacobi. He's going to be on here as well. We have this is like the international version of our show today. Maybe that's why the audio did what it did. We have somebody from Puerto Rico. We also have assistant new car manager at DBG Maddington Hyundai, and we have Carrie Mungar on as well, all the way from Australia. And I'm so excited to talk to her. And then we have Andrew Myers, no stranger to the show as well, director of product and partner at Dealers United. So I'm going to do this. Let's give away $100. How about that? All right, so we're going to give away $100 cold, hard cash. And what do you got to do to win that? Share the show. All right, just share the show. We're going to draw some names out at the end, and we're going to give somebody $100. How about that? You guys want $100? Anybody like $100? $100. Share the show. Let's help us out. So what do you say, man? It's the first.
Yeah, it's the first day of the month. It's November, and traditionally in the auto business, this may be a scary month kind of walking into November because a little unpredictable. I mean, we start thinking about holidays. We think about a slower time up until we get past Christmas, starting around this time typically. So I think it's even more important to focus on what your month is going to look like and have a solid plan of action and actionable steps that you can take. So I'd love to see those who are on the Facebook Live and those who are watching and viewing the show, what are you going to do for November? And I'd really challenge you to be very specific when it comes to your role and what it's going to look like for November and what are those actionable steps. We're going to be talking about that with our guest as well as probably many other things organically that it'll evolve to. But that's what I'm looking at. Dave, it's the first day of the month in November. Only 60 days left in the year. So you want to finish strong
Mm-hmm.
and be able to walk into the new year without being behind or feeling like you're lagging.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to give you guys a little insight to what we were saying when you couldn't hear us, we were talking a little bit about that. We were talking about the fact that it's the first, and discussing your plan. What is your plan? And in my experience in life in general, I mean, not just in leadership and in sales training. I mean, that's one thing, right? Because we're salespeople watching here. We're business owners. We're car people. But also just in life in general, if you don't have a plan, right? If you don't work your plan's going to work you. And so if you don't want to be worked over, and that's the reality, you go, well, how can my plan work me? I don't have one. Well, your lack of plan works you. And so today, I would say, and I'll give you some stinking thinking. My friend Stephanie Cross is watching. She said her dad used to use that phrase as well. But here stinking thinking really comes in this. This is my opinion. When you say, hey, you know what? I've got 60 days left in the year, and my 2018 is really not what I thought it would be. You could blame it on, the car business hasn't been as strong as predicted in the beginning of the year. And, it really just hasn't moved and shook like it should have. So I haven't had the year. So I'm going to sandbag. Or I'm going to, I'm going to sell deals. I can't afford not to, maybe you're saying, but I'm going to just put this in the bag, man, and I'm going to concentrate my energy on focusing on a great 2019. I would encourage you to sow a seed today, right? Put November and December, use that as a seed into what you expect in 2019. Stinking thinking would be, I am going to wait. I'm just gonna ride this thing out. And I don't know anybody that's successful, anybody that's making anything happen that thinks that way. So I would encourage you to have a plan, to set it now, start operating. If you don't start today, you won't start tomorrow.
That's a great point.
You said tomorrow yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. Don't surrender the rest of the year because of maybe where you're at or maybe what you're thinking. I did open up by saying November can traditionally be a little challenging. We're going to the holidays, all that stuff. But at the same time, those are all really excuses at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully all of us get to a place in maturity as salespeople, and we're salespeople no matter how high our position is, but hopefully all of us can get to a place where every day really looks the same as far as actionable, and it doesn't matter if it's November or December or the first day or the last day of the month. Mm-hmm. You're still taking the same steps, but inevitably it's all around us, right? It is the holidays. So it's a matter of what you're going to decide now on November 1st instead of December 3rd, what the next 2 months are going to look like. So give us your specific plans. Mm-hmm. What's your resolution starting today, not in January,
start now.
But what it's going to look like your November and December.
Absolutely. Lou, are we going straight to our guest now? Yes, sir. All right, so let's bring them on. Without further ado, they've been patiently waiting through the intro of the show. So we have the president of Aviles Auto, Mr. Carlos Aviles, with us. We have performance manager and trainer at Tacobi, Patrick O'Brien. We have assistant new car manager at DVG Maddington Hyundai, Kerry Mungar, and we have director of product partner at Dealers United, Andrew Myers. I want to thank you guys and gal for joining us, and we're so honored that I know a lot of people are cleaning up their last month. They're still recovering. A lot of people are pushing things that didn't quite happen yesterday. They're making things happen today. So it's a busy day. I think the first, in many cases, is actually busier than the last day of the month. So thank you for being with us. And we're international today. We have somebody from Australia on the show right now, and then we have someone from Puerto Rico on the show right now. And Patrick, aren't you? Where are you from, Patrick? Aren't you from like Kentucky? I mean, that's almost like another country.
No, I'm from Atlanta.
Atlanta. Okay. I'm just kidding, man. All right. So hey, welcome.
Seattle is further away than Puerto Rico.
yes. You were from Seattle. You were from Seattle, man. And Andrew, and so we're so happy that you are all with us. Dave, I'm gonna throw it to you and let you get specific. Let's kick this thing off.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go to Carlos Aviles. Obviously, as the president of Aviles Auto, what does it look like for you going into November? And as the leader, how do you present and create the mindset, the culture going into November to kind of ignore the idea of a slowdown or holidays and take some actionable steps to have a great month?
Hey, how are you guys? Thank you for the opportunity. I hope you are listening me fine. We started the month November 1. The first thing I tell my team on the morning was to can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
We can hear you good.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, can you hear
I
us?
tell my team we yeah.
Go
Hello.
ahead, man.
Can
Yep.
you hear me now?
Yes,
Yes.
sir. We can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, perfect. So in the morning meeting, I tell my team we gotta start the month as it's the end of the month on October, because we put up the gas at the last day to finish strong, and we gotta do it from the first day. One thing I learned from the conference from went to the Hustle and Grind Con was to work better on my repeat and referrals. So we started today calling every customer that has bought a car from us 2 years ago, 3 years ago. So we are focused on our repeat, and we are focused on our referrals. We're trying to get on the phone and start early on the month to have a strong month. So yeah, we have the mindset, and we have our focus to make November a great month, but we have to start the first day working as if it was the last.
I got to say something. Thank you, Carl. I got to address the comments because I'm laughing because everybody's tearing my jacket up. By the way,
Yeah.
Everybody.
I didn't say anything.
Hey,
but
somebody
I was
said
kinda
they want
wondering.
Captain D's, man. Now I want somebody.
I want some Arthur Treachers.
Okay, you guys. Hey, listen. Go ahead, y'all. Let's get it all out now. Hold on. Paddington Bear. We got Curious George. I got Captain D's.
All I'm saying
My
is-
brand ambassador. What are you laughing at, Lou? What are you laughing at? Huh? You like? You don't have to like it, man. Hey,
No kidding, there are fish sticks in this pocket.
yes, there are. Yes, there are, baby. That's all right. Hey, listen, I'm gonna rock this yellow jacket because I like it. And so, hey, my own brand ambassador, by the way, tore me up this morning and threw out like some sort of like Gordon's fisherman like guy on a boat,
Right.
You know. But that's all right. That's all right. That's all right. So I just want to get that out in the open. I appreciate all the comments. And you know what, Michelle Polly, she's right. Paddington Bear is a closer. Close more by accident than you can close on purpose.
There you go. There you go.
All right, so I
All
got to
right,
get
so
that
let's
out. I'm
get
sorry,
back-
Carlos.
let's get back
I was
in-
laughing through your comments because everybody was ripping on my jacket, man. Go ahead.
No, well, let's get back to Carlos' comments because this is what the show is all about today. This was the challenge we threw out when you couldn't hear us in our opening monologue. The challenge was to get specific about your plan for the month and let us know what the actionable steps are and make a resolution to do that today. Carlos just shared as the leader. He set forth today, this morning, and said, hey, the month starts now, not tomorrow, not next week. We're going to start making calls today to everyone who's bought a car in the last 2 or 3 years. That's what we're looking for, Dave. And I'll throw it back to you.
Yeah, absolutely. What I love about Carlos's comment, and and I had to multitask because I'm listening to the jacket comment with his, but I heard this. I heard hustler. I heard somebody that's saying, hey, on the first day of the month, I have my guys on the phone calling people. And at first I thought he was going to finish the sentence with everyone that didn't buy last month. But he didn't. He said everyone that didn't buy like last year.
Yeah, right.
Like
He
Carlos
sold
has
2
got
or 3 years ago.
Yeah, man. So that's just working, and I love that. And so we talked and started this off, and I'll go to Carrie in a second because I found out how Puerto Rico does it. Now I want to know how Australia does it, and I'm impressed with her with what she's doing. And so Carrie, I'm going to come back to you in a second. But when I listen or see anybody that makes a plan, Carrie, and we're talking today about what's your November plan, what's your December plan, really looking to kind of plant a seed, into what you're expecting for 2019, starting now versus waiting. When I think about that and I see people that are really doing it, it's always followed by hard work. It's always followed by someone who's willing to put the effort in. And so, Carrie, let me ask you this. Where is your focus right now? Like, what are you talked last week about going to a conference that inspired you, that really got you fired up, and inspired you. So kind of bring something to our listeners and maybe give them a little insight on what you're focused on going into the end of this year, with where you are in your car sales.
Well, I think that coming back from Hustle and Grind, I really wanted to eradicate the negative stigma, as was said again and again and again whilst we were over in Orlando, Florida. And as people always say, the biggest compliment you can get is a referral. So in all honesty, I just wanted to change the way that people think of us as car salespeople. So when they do purchase from us and the experience is so good, they want to be able to come back and refer their friends and family and make sure that they get looked after too. At the end of the day, that actually costs nothing other than, some good manners and hard work. So to be able to do that would be able to increase my network of people, and I've actually just started thinking of ways that in some aspects, rather than giving out dealership or manufacturer key tags, create my own that they can give to one to themselves and a family member with my details on it. So when it comes down to changing over vehicles, that my details are there and ready to go. Mm-hmm. So that was just one of the small things that I was thinking of, and also trying to create more positivity within the team, get everyone on board, as well as bringing back the knowledge that I have learned and getting everyone else involved in it as well.
Absolutely. Great point. And by the way, David, it's 3:30 a.m. Carrie
woke
up to be on the show.
Wow, thank you so much, Carrie. We're really honored that you did that. That's a great commitment. And Carrie,
thanks so much for having me, guys.
And Carrie, real quick, I mean, obviously coming all the way over here to the States, going to the Hustle and Grind, and now carrying back that message, that's a challenge when you were the only one there to experience that, and to go back. And this is a challenge that really every leader, every manager faces, or maybe even anyone that attends a conference where all these great positive things come out. To go back and implement them and get everyone else on board is a real challenge. What is the reaction like there in Australia with your team, and what are you finding maybe is something that they are grabbing a hold of?
Look, we tend to say that over here in Australia we're about 10 years behind the US. So things like personal branding and having this huge social media following and like going live and stuff like that is very, very new to us, whereas I think it's been going on in the States a little bit longer. And I feel as though the car industry in Perth is still kind of lacking the huge amount of positivity, because the thing is, when I went over to Hustle and Grind, seeing so many people in sales, management and above all positive and wanting to work together to change the perception of the industry, and how everyone was just on board and wanting to take that back and bring it back into somewhere that isn't quite there yet, it can be hard, but I'm just trying to focus on myself, and once people see my own success, hopefully they'll follow themselves.
Yeah, it starts with, I like that, and I've never seen growth in any other way. If people it's something that people that have no patience, which a lot of us don't, or we lack in that, or maybe it's not our number one virtue. We want it now, we want it convenient, we want it yesterday. And I get that, but the reality is no success comes that way. And so a lot of times somebody that wants to influence, they think, I want to influence the masses. It doesn't really start that way either. It starts by influencing your neighbor, the person next to you. And they usually don't listen to what you say as much as they see what you do. So I applaud that, Carrie, and I have no doubt that you will do that, not only in your store but in your country. And in your area there. And so let's go to Andrew. And Andrew, I know you've been in this business a while, and you're listening to what Carlos and Carrie are saying. Again, two different areas. I mean, you have one area here in Puerto Rico that was devastated last year, and it's still bad. I mean, it's really, really bad. So I mean, there's this challenge of that we can't in some ways comprehend. Maybe some segments like North Carolina right now are experiencing. But then you're listening to Carrie saying, hey, I'm bringing this back, and I'm actually trying to ignite something in my store. When it comes to this business, and it comes to, really, Carrie saying, for instance, I saw so many people that were inspired, and it is on fire. And the reality is that's not the majority. That's still the minority, Andrew. But how powerful is?
She went to a conference full of people, so that gave you a tainted perspective.
Yeah. So, but
the
how
right people were there,
Well, how powerful though? Yeah, absolutely. But how powerful? We go to these conferences, and we're not talking about conferences, but we go sometimes to places, and we get something, but we don't keep it. And so how important is it if we want to see change in the organizations that we run, in the circles that we run in, that we actually really put a plan together to implement some of these things that we learn. You know, and I know we're going to kind of shift into some gear.
Yeah.
You know, there's some things that you want to talk about with regards to Facebook and maybe that very thing, implementing the walk, you know, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
No, I can hit a curveball, man. We're good. No, from what I'm hearing her say is so important is that you have to start somewhere with some of these efforts, and they don't always yield results. So to kind of merge the two, let's say hypothetically we assume we're going to have a down month or two in terms of walk-in traffic. You know, that is the perfect opportunity to make sure you're building something for yourself that you can take and use in the new year. So, you know, there's a million ways to make $1 on a car lot, and maybe this is the month to work on getting BombBomb hooked up, or hooking up with a different provider, or hooking up with a new branding and calling somebody on Fiverr and working on your logo and really working on your game. What I was saying about her is I think when you go to a conference like that, it's easy to go, look, there's hundreds of people doing it. It must be going on here. And I can tell you that room held a few people who were doing it, and it's because they've probably been to a few conferences like that already. You know, so it took time here, and I think a lot of that is just beating on the drum and getting those practices in place. So if I was a manager headed into these months, I would be telling everyone, have a plan. What are you going to get out of these months? And I'd make them list something other than just car deals. You know, too often we're willing to list our goals as 18 cars, 14 cars, or 12 cars. But, you know, what about the rest of the full picture of your career?
Yeah, what about the fact that, yeah, exactly, it's too broad. It's too broad to say that. I tell my sales guys all the time, you know, I mean, you know that's not good enough when you don't hit it, and you say it again, then you don't hit it the next month, or you say it again, you don't hit it the third month. When do you start looking at it and going, okay, what's going on here? There's a disconnect between what I'm saying and what I'm seeing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, that can be a problem with numerical goals in general, you know, and that's why maybe the goal needs to change from, you know, hey, listen, I want to do the same amount I did this month, next month, but on top of that, I'm gonna figure out how to dig through the CRM and mine for some of these past deals like you talked about. Or on top of that, I'm gonna work on some messaging around Black Friday and Christmas and make sure to hit my email list with it. I'm gonna try something new, or I'm gonna learn a new software program that allows me to contact more customers. You know, I'm going to do something other than just sell cars this month. And then next month, my life will be easier.
Yeah, good point, man.
Yeah, thanks so much, Andrew. We're going to go quick to Patrick O'Brien, performance manager and trainer at Tacobi. Now, Patrick, you know, let's look at it from the vendor side as well. I mean, you know, obviously you guys are reaching out to dealers every day. You may not be selling a car, but you're helping dealers sell cars. So what is it that you're going to do specifically in November and December to make sure that you're hitting your targets? How are you going to get in front of more dealers? What does that look like for you specifically going into these months?
Well, you know, what we try to do is, you know, and you'll see, you know, the team that, you know, we have, you know, we celebrate our wins. We celebrate our wins on social media, but we're also not afraid to talk about the things that, you know, we need to improve on. You know, there's areas that we have improved tremendously. We improve every single day. We reflect on our day. We look at, you know, what we did today, and we try to make sure that if it wasn't what we're, you know, if it's not going to direct us towards the goals we have, then we change it and we don't do the same thing tomorrow, right? So our goal is always the same. We want to talk to as many dealers, obviously, as possible, but then we want to share with them the wins and the results that we're getting for the dealers that we're working with currently. The best, like the lady from Australia, I'm sorry to catch her name, but like she had mentioned, the best thing you can get is a referral. Well, the best thing we can get as vendors is a referral from another dealer saying, hey, take a look at this company, take a look at this vendor, take a look at this product. This is something that we're having success with, and we think it would be a great fit for you guys. You guys should take a look at it, you know? So, and that's with any product, not just ours, that's anything. You know, you want to definitely get those celebrate those wins and make sure that if what you did yesterday is not getting you and putting you towards the position to reach your goals, you change it and you do something differently, and that will help you to ensure that you do hit those goals at the end of the month. And again, like the other gentleman said, it starts at the beginning of the month. You know, if you hit the middle of the month and you're scrambling around going, oh shit, I can't get I need to get more deals, we're behind the numbers. Well, you already made the mistakes at the beginning. You have to set it up at the very beginning so that you're not scrambling at the end of the month. And that's how you end up hitting your goals, you hit your benchmarks, and you continue to grow moving forward as a vendor or a dealership.
You know, absolutely. Carrie, I'm going to go to you really quick. You know, I think when we're talking about goals, and I don't, you know, we just started kind of organically talking, and it's kind of seeming that we're landing on this goal thing. But when we're talking about goals, I think that it's so important that we are realistic. You know, sometimes, you know, there's been two things I've witnessed when individuals set goals. They either set them too far, where there's really no way that they're ready to hit that number, and they set themselves up for failure, or they don't set them high enough where there's really not a lot of effort, and so when they hit it, you know, it doesn't really feel like a win. And so I think the key, you know, I'm anxious to kind of get your opinion on maybe how you do this, Carrie, and what you're beginning to implement to even take it to the next level. How do you balance that? Because I mean, the key, I guess, would be to me is stretching myself. Right, making sure that I set goals that are going to, and I think maybe Andrew hit it on the head where he said, you know, maybe it's not a numeric goal every month. You know, we're so driven by, if I sold 1, I need to sell 2. If I sold 2, I need to sell 3, and maybe that's the ultimate goal. But what are the steps in between? And I think sometimes we try to take 2 steps at one time. You know, when I was a kid and I did that, I fell down the stairs. And so, you know, Carrie, maybe weigh in on that. Maybe give us some tips to, you know, how you've done that, because I know you've grown over the last year. You've really, you know, made leaps and bounds. And so, give us a little bit of insight and maybe our listeners.
Yeah, well, I believe that you definitely need to write down your goals. And after leaving Hustle and Grind, I got my diary out, and I'm always full of like ideas floating in my head, so I'm always having to write things down. So basically, I created a page for things I can implement right now. Small things like getting up earlier, reading a little bit more, things like that. And then things that I want to achieve within 3 months, and then 6 months, and so on. And you can start ticking them off a little bit, but one by one. And once you're starting to see that you're achieving these little things, it actually gives you the momentum and the confidence that you need. And then once, you're rolling and you're ticking and ticking and ticking, you're feeling great, and you're on to great things. And yeah, definitely start small. Give yourself little wins to build up to the big ones. Yeah, like you said, you don't want to expect too much of yourself too fast. So make something that's achievable, and make something that you can achieve now, as well as in the future.
That's good. Thank you.
Yeah, and let's take a look at some comments on social media. We got Phil Tracy. This is Jason Gardner's hustling. I've been following him. He's putting the business out there. He also said that Tacoby was killing it. Let's look at some other ones. If we can scroll up, T possibly. I want to welcome some more people in. Sharice is in. Sharice Matthews, Trevor Brooks. Let's go to
Joe
some more.
Calla.
Joe Calla's in.
Jesse Swisky.
Yep. We had some comments up there earlier as we were talking about some of these subjects. And but yeah, you know, let's go back to
well, one of the questions here, how are you separating yourself and being unique in your post-sale follow-up? It's a great question. Okay. How are you separating yourself and being unique in your post-sale follow-up? Maybe that's a good one for Carlos, huh? Yeah, and that comes from Michelle Polly McLean. So let's go back to Carlos and pose that question, Carlos. How are you separating yourself and being unique when it comes to post-sale follow-up?
Well, what we do is we create a budget for every customer that bought a car from us, and we try to send them little details like after a month they bought the car, we tell them you can came to the dealership, we have 2 tickets for the theater. So we have a budget of $50 per customer per year. So we try to be connected with the customer at least 4 times per year. We call them, we mail them, and we send them gifts on their birthday. And also we call them when the cars is 1 year birthday. We call them and we say, is everything okay with your car? How is the experience with the car? And we use that opportunity to ask for referrals. So if you have a customer, you want to serve that customer not only one car, you want to have a lifetime selling them cars. So we are in every opportunity we have, we maintain a good communication with our customers, and we touch base with them at least 4 times per year. And the thing, going to a theater is very cheap, and my customers love that. And we call them, I have 2 tickets, so you can go with your family to a theater. You want to come in and pay your tickets and go to a theater? Or obviously, they will say yes. They will come to the store, and we will salute them.
I'm going to tell you something, man. I was going to say, I'll just say this, Carlos. A couple people had commented, but Cribbs and I looked at each other. What a simple idea, but what a great idea, man. I mean, it's interesting. Both your comments so far, I'm very impressed with. I met you at Hustle and Grind, but maybe you came to say, okay, I'm going to get something, and maybe you did. I'm sure you got motivated, but I'm telling you what, man, I'm getting something out of you being on the show. Just by the first comment out the gate was your work ethic, and then second comment, something that's so simple. I mean, it's not that we don't give a customer a gift, like we've never done that, but the fact to go as far as saying I'm going to budget and it's going to be something that we put out there, I think that's a great idea, and we all know that that's the way to, if we can keep a customer, then we basically have cut our we've made it half as easy.
Yeah. And you know what I love about that is not only the budget. I think that's amazing, Carlos. I can't remember the last time we heard something like that on the show. I'm sure that there are some individual salespeople that maybe do some things of their own that might be similar. But as a dealer,
but
doing
as
that,
a budget, though.
As a budget, right? Having it.
See, doing it once in a while,
yeah.
I do, but to do it every
part
time.
of your business, right? Just
because
part of your business.
When you do it once in a while, I mean, it's just to stay on this for 1 second. When you do this once in a while, like for instance, Carrie, if I did this, if you did this once in a while, Carrie, as a salesperson, right? Usually you would do this and give a gift to somebody because you felt it. You kind of get a feeling, and you go, what? I just feel like maybe giving this person a gift is going to be, something that's really a good thing for this relationship, and it's what have you. But I mean, that's kind of the way we do it, Carrie. But if you did it as a budget, even when you necessarily didn't feel it, but it was automatic, you never know when that's going to come back to benefit you, right? Because it meant something to that customer. What's your thoughts on that, Carrie?
I think it's actually a great idea, to be honest. I think that just making the customer feel like they are still on our minds, and we still appreciate their business and stuff. A lot of people, in the past, they kind of say, I've heard customers say that once the sale's done, they kind of feel like they've been forgotten about, and that's another way to kind of change the perception of car sales by just something so simple. It doesn't have to be anything with a huge cost value. So I definitely think I might even try implementing that one. Thanks, Carlos, because I think that what we do at our dealership is obviously we do our follow-up calls. We give a rewards kit on handover, which gives them a rewards card at certain stores where they get certain discounts, which they can continuously use, which is branded with the DBG name. And we give them a year birthday card for their car. But in between, there isn't all that much. There isn't really too much of a small gesture of appreciation, which really makes the person feel good and think, oh, wow, out of the blue, they've gotten a gift which they never expected. If I were to receive that, I'd feel really, really good myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love the fact that Carlos talked about the movie tickets, because it ties it to, if you think about it, when you give someone movie tickets to take their family or their spouse, you're creating an experience for them. It goes beyond, right? They're going to use the tickets. It's not like a gift card or money. They're actually going to use them to go have an experience, a family experience. Now that they're tying back to you, which is that's just a great thing that you've implemented, Carlos.
I'm sure you have, Carlos. A lot of people that probably post that, maybe thank you for, maybe shoot you pictures of their family out.
Social media.
You know what I'm saying? So that's a great idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dave, I got a segue there for you if you're interested. I think I was the last person to mention putting a budget on a customer on the show, but I was talking about it in terms of deciding what a follow-up budget would be if somebody hit your website, and deciding what your budget should be to talk to that person after the sale. And there's some really nice layover here between what he's saying and that, and it can be completely automated. You can set it up to where people come in, pick up those movie passes, check into Facebook. All those things are helping you keep track of that customer, keep them in your loop. So there's that can be completely automated by people who love the idea but know that their people won't do it on an individual basis. All those messages, the 1 year notice, I mean, all of that stuff now can be done automated and not done just through email. It can be done by dropping those tidbits right into somebody's Instagram or Facebook.
Yeah, I think that's very smart, Andrew. You know, because the truth of the matter is you want everybody, and if it's really going to work for them individually and they're going to be a long-term person that's going to really grow with your organization, then you know as well as I do, those individuals are going to find a way to make it a priority to themselves. But as a business owner myself, and you're watching as a dealer or as a general manager or a general sales manager, you know, that's your business, and that salesperson goes down the road, or, you know, that's still your client. And I think it's important, and you know, for
not
you.
Just that, but he's going through the effort to place a monetary value on each customer. And like you said, it's not situational, it's not emotional.
Yep.
He's saying if customer sale is worth X, I'm going to divide percent of X, and I'm going to use that to win them back. And I think that's the first part, is whether you're talking about doing it digitally or physically through movie passes or birthday cards or digital birthday cards or digital invitation to come pick up movie passes. It's the same idea, and it's just, have you set money aside expressly for the purpose of winning somebody over and creating an experience, or are you just cars?
It's great.
Yeah, so let's go back to Patrick. You've heard a lot from the other guests, Patrick. I'd like for you to weigh in and maybe give us some details on what we could do through follow-up, through Facebook, through social media, whatever that might look like, to take advantage of the time that we might have in November and December where we have a little bit less lot traffic.
Well, I mean, like Andrew said, there are ways to automate this follow-up. You know, the 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. There are ways to do that. I mean, our system itself is designed for something very similar to that, where you can set those follow-ups and that automated follow-up to happen to where you don't have to come back to it. It goes right to the customer's cell phone on a text message, and boom. There you go. Now you're continuing to stay in front of them. You're continuing to stay relevant to them. I love Carlos's idea about giving out those movie tickets. People are going to check in. You're going to create more and more raving fans. You know, in the months of November and December, it's still not a bad thing to sit and write out a thank you card. Mm-hmm. Okay? Wish somebody a happy Thanksgiving. Wish somebody a happy holidays. Give somebody a phone call and just say, hey, this is Patrick over at ABC Chevrolet. I just wanted to call and wish you guys a happy holidays. I know it takes a little bit of time to do, but guys, if we're going to focus and invest this much time in our customers to, number one, get them to the store, number two, the hours that we spend with them at the store, why aren't we investing a little bit more time, or at least half of the time that we spent already, to continue to bring them back to our store? Yeah. Okay? The best way and the best customers you will ever have are the people that come back to you repeatedly. And then when they come back to you repeatedly, what they're going to do is they're going to send you their friends. They're going to send you their family. They may be sitting at the dinner table with some friends out to dinner, and boom, they get a text message from you saying, hey, guys, I just wanted to wish you a happy holidays. Let me know if I can do anything to help you out. And then, boom, what they're going to do is they're going to read that text message. Oh, that's the guy I bought my car from. I bought it from him 2 years ago. He still reaches out to me just to say hello. Guys, this is what we have to start focusing on to ensure that we keep those customers in our funnels, okay? We spend way too much money to get the customer into the dealership, to sell them one car and let them go down the road and never follow up or never talk to them again. Guys, there's easier and better ways to do it. We just have to make sure we do it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hey, thank you, Patrick. So let's do this. We're going to try to let Carrie get some, I don't know if she's able to go back to sleep or not, but we're going to try to let her get some sleep soon because I know she's got to go to work, I'm sure.
Forgot about Carrie at 4 a.m. over there.
Yeah, like 3:30. So she's basically, I'm pretty impressed that you're thinking this clear. But so let's do this. I'm going to give all four of you guys some closing remarks on this. You know, we've had a great discussion. I mean, the energy on Facebook, and we jacked up the monologue, but we've recovered. You guys have helped us. So we've got people saying the problem here, let me read a couple comments and I'll give you guys some closing remarks. The problem we have is that we are transactional and chase the next sale. They don't have time. Let's go back up here and get another comment. Someone said, this is why I love working in a small town. I've seen previous customers out for dinner, paid for their meal or next round of drinks as a way to create a non-invasive conversation and get me back in front of them. Great. I love that by Phil Tracy. What happens when you're not in a small town? How can you take that concept and that idea in a big town and still do that? That's a great idea, but how do you take that and scale it? See, someone else said when dealers, let's see here, let's scroll back up a little bit more, Tria. See if we get one more comment here. See, here's one. Here's an idea. Said, have a dealer give the sales rep an option to allocate a percentage of their commission to go into an individual advertising pit for each rep to invest back into their client base. It's optional, not mandatory. That's cool. I can add something to that. If they did it, what about the dealer or the owner matching that, making a match fund?
It's the only way it would make sense.
Yeah, it's the only way it would make sense, but that's a great idea. We're just thinking, we're putting it out here. So let's put these out. Let's give all four of you guys some closing remarks on everything that we've talked about. Then we're going to draw to see who won $100. We're going to give $100 away today. Ooh. And Carlos, we're going to start with you, man. President of Aviles Auto in Puerto Rico. Thank you so much for joining us, man. We're praying for your country, and give us your closing remarks.
Well, my closing remarks will be, as I told you, start the month, as it will be the last. You gotta maintain your customer base, because usually we spend or make a budget for bringing new customers. You know the new customers are the most difficult to close. The clients that already bought from you have the trust on your company and in yourself. So that's the reason we have growth a lot, and we are the #1 used car dealership, because we focus not only on the new customer, we focus on the repeat customers. And I have customers that have bought from us 3-4 cars in 6 years. I wanna be able to sell them to their family, to their friends, to their children, everybody. So put out content, do the testimonials when you deliver the car. That's working a lot for us. We do a testimonial every time we close a deal, and we put it on social media, and we send them to the referrals of the customers, and that has worked a lot for us. Make content on social media. Everybody is on social media right now, so you gotta be connected with your audience. Make videos that engage with your customers, and don't sell price. We sell an experience. In Aviles Auto, you will have an experience of buying a car you won't find in any other dealer in Puerto Rico.
Love it, man. Thank you so much. We'll go to Carrie Mungar. Thank you for Assistant New Car Manager at DVG Maddington Hyundai. Give us your closing remarks, and thank you for being with us.
I think that to succeed over the next couple of months, you've really got to set yourself some goals and write them down. Like I said, choose what you can implement now and after. Also surround yourself with positive, like-minded people, like being on this show today and bouncing ideas off of each other. Everyone being so positive and having a great input has inspired me once again to go and do different things, implement changes, and see if I can get a better result. So find people who you can bounce ideas off, because everything starts with an idea, and then you want to implement it. So as long as you surrounding yourself with people who inspire you to do better, then that's the key, I think, to moving forward as well.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and we'll go to Andrew Myers for closing comments. Once again, thanks, Carrie, for waking up so early, be a part of the show. That's already showing your commitment. We appreciate that. So let's go to Andrew for a closing comment.
Well, first, let me just say that the last time I was on the show with Dave, I was in studio, and there was a hurricane outside, and he was far less prepared for rain than he is today. So on the topic of being prepared,
this is not a raincoat, by the way. But that's all right. This is.
I love it.
That's all right. But go ahead. But it does look like a raincoat, so I will give you that. All right.
But I digress.
Go ahead.
No, the original thing that I wanted to talk about today, I thought that I was under the impression the show was going to be more about leads. I'm glad it didn't turn into the whole thing about that. But there's a little bit of a changing landscape with leads. One of the things that we've been working on hard at Dealers United, of course, we have a Facebook and Instagram platform. So to help kind of demonstrate the value of it, there's only a few lead providers that can help suck your inventory and put it on Facebook Marketplace. Marketplace obviously is free lead sources. Travis can speak to the power of the Messenger app that connects the interested parties to your dealership. It's a really cool platform. Most dealers are already on it. There's only a few partners that can help you get your inventory there, and a lot of them are charging like bundles or commitments. You can't charge for Marketplace, so a lot of them make you pay for some other thing along the way. So we have an offer out now. It's unlimited listings, free Marketplace, $59 one time to set it up. So for any dealers out there that are trying to squeeze the rag a little bit here before the new year, free impressions, free VDP views, public reviewed, public profiles, messaging you about specific cars costs nothing, $59 one time. So that was the offer that I wanted to start the conversation on, because if you don't have that already at your dealership, there's no reason not to now. And if you're paying somebody for that, if you're paying $299, $399 as part of some other bundle for that, don't. So dealersunited.com, you can see the offer right on the main screen, and you can sign up without talking to anyone.
Dealersunited.com. Thank you very much, Andrew. Hey, man, we got to get you down here again in studio. I'd love to have all you guys in studio. Carrie needs to come from Australia. Carlos, you need to come from Puerto Rico. You guys all need to come here, and we'll have you all in studio one day. Pat O'Brien, give us your closing remarks, my friend. And also at the end, make sure you tell dealers where they can find more information about Tacoby. And go ahead.
Yep. First, guys, Carrie, Carlos, thank you guys for joining. Carrie, especially at 3:30 a.m. Andrew, thanks for bringing me on board for the show. I really do appreciate your friendship. Dave, you guys are awesome. Again, I love the show. Guys, at the end of the day, we won't have to scramble the last months of the year. If we plan everything properly and we forecast the things the right way at the beginning of the year, we work hard every single month and every single day to ensure that when we get to these final months, we're not sitting there scrambling going, oh, man, I'm not going to hit my forecast. I'm not going to hit my goals. I'm not going to hit my numbers. Guys, the end of the year has already been figured halfway through it. Okay, in June or July or August, if you're going to end up not hitting your numbers and not absolutely getting where you want to be. All right. When it comes to follow-up, guys, with your customers that you've previously sold, spend a little bit more time cultivating these relationships after the sale. Carrie mentioned earlier, we spend so much time to where they only feel like after the sale we forget about them, and that's sad. Because they are our customers. They're not just our customers once. We can sell them one time, and if we give them a great experience, like Carlos had mentioned, they're going to come back. Then they're going to bring their family to us. And then as their kids get older, they're going to bring their kids to us to buy cars. Guys, if we stay in touch with them and we make sure that they know we continuously care about them after we sell them the first car, we will get the opportunity to sell them multiple cars time and time again. And that's always going to be the key for it. I appreciate, again, everybody. You guys can all reach out to me on social media. I'm easy to find, Patrick O'Brien. You can also text me, 770-880-7080. It is literally the easiest cell phone number on the entire planet. To find out more information about Tacoby, you just go to www.tacoby.com. Or you can reach out to me directly if you want to take a look at the product, see it under the hood. I'll get you linked up with either Jason or Dan to go ahead and give you a really good, solid demo. And just keep in mind, guys, we're continuing to improve. We are changing the way that follow-up is done by making it just a little less hectic. Okay, we want it to be more efficient, and we believe that there is a more efficient way than the way we're doing it now. So by all means, we'd love to talk to you guys. We'd love to show it to you. Dave, thank you guys as always, so much. It's a blessing truly to have you guys as friends and colleagues in this industry. So I really do appreciate it.
Hey, our pleasure, Pat.
Pleasure, yes.
Carlos, Carrie, Patrick, and Andrew, thank you guys so much for joining us today. What a great show. And I hope you guys have a great week and weekend. All right, Dave. So, we're going to be drawing here. Don't go anywhere, guys. We're going to give away $100 right now.
Cash out.
Going to get some cash out. But, I want to touch on just the last comment, something that hit me. And Phil Tracy said it here, and he was what Patrick was saying, and he kind of summed it up. He said, I don't want customers once, I want customers for life. And piggybacking on what what Patrick was saying, we talk a lot about customer experience, and it just hit me. It's I knew it, but sometimes when somebody says something, it becomes obvious. Mm-hmm. And kind of like the follow-up deal with doing that in a budget.
Right.
But Patrick said, these customers are buy from me for life, and then their family will come, and then their kids will grow up. And when we talk about customer experience, and we talk a lot about people not wanting to buy a car or not liking to buy a car, they really, they hate it. They hate the process, and we complain about that a lot.
Yeah.
If you think about that, if they don't like the process, but they like you, and you stay in contact with them, then they'll start liking the process. Meaning, of course, they will have their kids buy from you because they won't want to put their kids through a brand new torturous process. They have someone that they like. Yeah. They found a process through you that they like.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, because when you return, it starts off as a different process entirely anyway. Because you already have that rapport, you have that. It looks different than when you're having to cut through all the walls in order to even start getting into the process. So I think that's important. Yeah. Good point.
That's good stuff. Let's draw some money, man.
Let's do it.
Let's draw some money. We'll draw the $100 first, and then we'll give away two books too, just so we can give away 3 winners. So this is $100 right here.
Oh,
Trevor Brooks.
Trevor Brooks, you're $100 richer, my friend.
Trevor Brooks, you win $100. Let's give away 2 books. All right, let's give away 2 books, just so we can have a couple of winners here. I like giving away stuff. 2 books. All right. So you know what? Come on now, Carlos Aviles. You win a book. Carlos shared it. All right, let's give away another one here. Let's see.
Make sure I write it on.
Michelle McLean, you get a book.
Oh, Michelle.
You guys want to give away? You guys want to give away a couple more? Let's give away a couple more books. All right, Joe Simonini. Am I saying that right? Simonini.
Just call him Joe.
Simo. Joe Simonini. You win a book. I'm gonna give away 5 total books. So there'll be Willard Johnson. Willard. You know what? We demoed a guy, Willard, today. Willard, is that you, man? Willard Johnson. We demoed I took a TO for a guy named Willard today at a store.
It's an uncommon name, so it could be him.
Willard Johnson. You,
Come on, Willard.
Sir, have won a book.
You've won a book.
How many books is that? 4? Is that 4?
I think it might be 5, Dave.
Phil Tracy. Is that it? Phil Tracy, you win a book. Phil Tracy, you win a book.
Another book.
Is that 5?
That's 5 or 6. It's 5.
Well, the $100 is the first one. So the $100 is
Right.
Trevor Brooks. All right, cool, man. Cool.
Boom. All right.
You ready for a big November? What's your plan, man?
I'll
put you on the spot.
Okay. All right. Now that you have, I'll go ahead and share just something real
I'm going to
quick.
eat some fish sticks tonight.
I know, yeah. I know where you're going.
I'm going to Captain D's, baby. There's not a Captain D's around here, so I'm going to Long John
You know
Silver's.
what? I think they should comp you when you walk in.
Heck yeah, they should comp me.
They'll probably start taking
I got this
orders.
jacket in
You
Brooklyn.
could probably go over there and start shouting orders. Like, hey, let's get the fries cleaned up over here, and yeah, you could make it happen. Here's the deal. I think it might have been Andrew that touched on it, and I kind of wanted to comment earlier, but I will say this, and I know you talked about it a little bit, Dave, and we get fixed sometimes on those numerical goals, and I've totally gotten off of that. I mean, maybe in the big picture I might think, yeah, I'd like to hit this number or that number, but I've erased those goals. My goals today are each day, how many people can I get in front of? How many calls can I make? How many appointments can I get? But I don't even set a number for that. It's how many dials, can I keep dialing? Can I keep dialing? Can I keep getting in front of people? Because ultimately, you're gonna reach people in 2 ways for most of us. That's through the phone, and then of course in person, whether you're going to them or they're coming to you, and that's the ultimate contact. But I just want to be in front of people because I figured out that I can close deals. I just got to be there.
Yeah.
So
opportunity. And my plan for this month, we flashed out this month, and it's interesting because when the month begins, when the week's not over, it's an interesting thing. So our part of flashing for the month is also closing out the week. So, one of the things we did, I want to get all the new people producing, and with the way the new people flashed, even their numbers for this month, we are poised to literally break a all-time company record in the month of November 2018. When other people say that, hey, it's Turkey Day, you got Black Friday, you got Cyber Monday, Christmas is coming up, we are poised to slapdog break a record. And then for Auto Dealer University, that's for our mailology and our hybrid program. It's blowing up. But our Auto Dealer University, we are so excited about this platform, and it is literally taking off like wildfire, and so we're going to be bringing on 4 people in the beginning of the year that are going to be offering this. And I think I might actually steal the title, and if I could steal that title of performance manager, I like that. I think
Performance
it's kind of cool.
manager.
I think it's
Ooh.
kind of cool.
Yeah, I like that.
That's cool. Kudos to probably
Performance
Jason Gerder that probably came up with that title. I'm not really sure, but that's a cool title, Jason. And all right, great show, man.
Great show.
In the
man.
books,
Let's do it again next week.
except for the monologue part.
Yeah.
Let's not do the monologue part.
We
next
have
week.
not had that technical difficulty like that in forever.
No, it hasn't. It's been a long time, like a month and a half. I hope I got right. 2
It's
months,
been
maybe.
more than that.
What are you doing? Come
Lou's
on, bro.
standing up in the fighting position.
Come on, bro.
Uh,
All right.
all right. We'll see you next week.
See you next week, man.